Welcome back to the Dinar Community channel. A seismic shift is underway in the global currency landscape, sending shockwaves across the investment world. A newly leaked internal document, allegedly from one of the top banking giants in the U.S., has sparked widespread excitement, confirming what many have waited years to hear. The long-rumored revaluation (RV) of key currencies is no longer hypothetical. It has officially begun. The leaked file, reportedly confirmed by several credible insider sources, outlines the initial phase of currency exchanges for the Iraqi Dinar (IQD), Vietnamese Dong (VND), and Zimbabwe Dollar (ZWL). For years, holders of these currencies have weathered public doubt, institutional silence, and persistent rumors. Now, the veil of secrecy is lifting, revealing what appears to be a carefully coordinated rollout plan. The memo doesn't merely acknowledge that something is happening, it details an entire infrastructure behind the scenes. It speaks of live system testing within Tier 1 banking institutions, updated protocols for frontline staff trained in high-volume redemptions, and most notably, structured redemption phases involving NDAs, KYC protocols, and tier-based access for participants. Eyes are now laser-focused on American financial institutions with currency desks. What once was considered wild speculation is now supported by internal movement, operational readiness, and formal preparation protocols. This isn't reactionary, it's implementation of a strategy long in the making. According to sources with direct access to the memo, internal systems are being configured to display special restricted rates, figures long believed to represent confidential, asset-backed exchange values far exceeding standard market listings. The document describes strict confidentiality instructions to customer-facing employees, off-site redemption centers, and layered security operations, clear indicators of a tightly choreographed financial operation. Market data in the past week further supports the authenticity of the memo. Analysts have noticed anomalies in Tier 1 trading platforms, hidden exchange rates for the Iraqi dinar ranging between $3.21 and $7.90, while Vietnamese dong values have hovered between $1.98 and $3.56 in test environments. These figures haven't shown up on retail trading apps, but they've been spotted within back-end systems of central banks and private trading platforms. Liquidity activity has surged among major financial hubs, particularly in New York, Dallas, and Atlanta, locations often speculated to house early-stage redemption centers. The timing and location of these patterns align with the phases mentioned in the leaked document. Expert voices are beginning to speak out. Dr. Meredith Langston, a global economic strategist and former Federal Reserve advisor, stated that the leak signals intergovernmental cooperation. This is a macro-level recalibration, she said. The alignment between U.S. Treasury-backed institutions and global financial bodies suggests long-term planning. Her views are echoed by Paul Kingsley of Geneva Capital Advisors, who claims the document was never meant to stay hidden. He believes its purpose is to reduce uncertainty, calm nervous investors, and validate what's already underway. The document specifically references redemption readiness not only for the Iraqi dinar, but also for the Vietnamese dong and Zimbabwe dollar, highlighting a synchronized revaluation plan. The IQD is tied to Iraq's economic reconstruction, oil-backed reforms, and geopolitical re-engagement. Vietnam's currency, meanwhile, is bolstered by trade realignment and ASEAN manufacturing strength. Zimbabwe's inclusion suggests faith in its gold-backed financial instruments and land reforms. This isn't just a shift for a few nations, it's part of a possible global transition toward an asset-backed monetary framework. Further confirmation comes from private security professionals hired to guard temporary exchange locations. According to anonymous reports, biometric setups, armored cash deliveries, and appointment-based systems are now active. One Florida contact confirmed that early-tier redemptions, covered under NDAs, have already begun, with Tier 3 and 4 appointments next in line. Many banks are reportedly imposing limited access hours, additional identity checks, and updated scheduling software, all consistent with the contents of the leaked plan. Skeptics have long dismissed RV theories as conspiracy. But these real-time developments, from verified bank systems to IMF-aligned language within the document, paint a very different picture. The memo even outlines compliance with synchronized global settlement procedures, a phrase often used in IMF operational policy. U.S. Treasury officials, speaking anonymously, have hinted at mechanisms being activated to prevent fraud and stabilize liquidity. The memo's call for secure transactional oversight reflects these preparations. Why now? July 2025 marks a critical turning point. Post-pandemic recovery efforts, rising inflation concerns, the acceleration of BRICS digital currency pilots, and global moves toward asset-backed trade, all contribute to this recalibration. Iraq's reform agenda under Prime Minister al-Sudani, Vietnam's export expansion, and Zimbabwe's economic stabilization are all converging in a way that makes this the ideal launch point. The memo is more than just words. It is confirmation of readiness. For dinar and dong holders across the United States, the message is clear: prepare. Redemption appointments are not walk-ins. They're structured, high-security meetings that require verified identity, original currency certificates, and signed NDAs. Redemption rates are not uniform. The memo outlines a tiered system. Tier 1, reserved for major holders, early adopters, and those with pre-approved humanitarian projects, receiving the highest contract rates up to $7.90 for IQD and above $4 for VND. Tier 2, mid-range redeemers or business-aligned participants, offered slightly reduced but still favorable rates. Tiers 3 and 4, general public levels, likely reflecting official forex rates once currencies are publicly listed. This hierarchy is built not just for fairness but to control capital flows, prevent market disruptions, and prioritize strategic reinvestment. Exchange appointments will be handled by trained bank officers in private settings. Clients will undergo biometric screening, present documentation, and may be offered various options, including structured payouts, project-based allocations, and private banking services. Some banks are already assigning wealth advisors and tax attorneys to assist high-value clients on site. Compliance is crucial. Redemptions of this scale will be watched closely by regulators. Experts strongly advise bringing in financial and legal advisors to help with filings, trusts, or charitable setups. Missteps could lead to costly penalties or disqualification from tiered rates. According to tax attorney Brian Kessler, the greatest risk isn't missing the window, it's missing the compliance. He urges investors to begin assembling their documentation and advisory team now. Redemption windows are expected to last only 7 to 21 days for most currencies, with extensions likely for special redemptions like ZWL humanitarian programs. Banks are focusing first on pre-registered clients. Public announcements may not come until a majority of transactions are complete. Once the window closes, remaining currency will be exchanged at normalized international values via forex platforms. The opportunity for higher returns may be gone. Macroeconomically, this shift could inject trillions into the U.S. economy through high-net-worth individuals and taxable trust vehicles. If managed correctly, this could reduce national debt, boost infrastructure spending, and support public programs. If mishandled, it could create confusion and strain bank operations. Preparation steps are vital. 1. Authenticate all currency holdings with UV and watermark checks. 2. Secure original purchase documentation. 3. Compile KYC documents, ID, passport, SSN. 4. Build a trusted team, lawyer, accountant, financial advisor. 5. Monitor updates only from credible sources. 6. Plan your redemption logistics in advance. This is more than a financial event, it is a personal and generational transformation. However, with high stakes comes increased risk. Fake memos, phishing scams, and illegitimate bank reps are on the rise. Real institutions will never ask for upfront fees or currency data via email. All verifications will happen in person, securely. ZWL redemptions will involve a different process, often under humanitarian or sovereign debt restructuring frameworks. Investors must be cautious, organized, and legally covered. This document, this memo, signals the shift from theory to reality. Redemptions are happening. The system is live. The phase is real. But timing, clarity, and decision-making will define who benefits. If this first wave unfolds smoothly, there's a possibility of a second wave in late 2025. Other currencies like the Iranian rial or Afghani may be evaluated next, depending on their asset ties and reform trajectories. But for now, only IQD, VND, and ZWL are officially included. After years of mystery, missed deadlines, and speculation, the moment is here. The financial reset isn't coming. It's happening now. Whether you're holding a few thousand in currency or millions in bonds, this is your time. But it demands focus, discipline, and wisdom. The vault is open. The phase has begun. Make it count. Like and subscribe for more videos.